Good good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good week. Judging by my judging by my T-shirt, it gives you a small hint as to where this piece is ultimately going. After seeing so many posts with the featuring the meme "Who was I during the 1990s?", I am I have no willpower, and I figured I decided to jump in on this too. I can't help it. I'll take whatever ideas I can find to run with them for poems' sake. Only there was just one problem. I don't have any photos of myself from the 1990s on my person. Most of the photos are in the various volumes of photo albums that are in my mom's room. The only photos I have of myself from the 90s or my elementary school yearbook photo, the middle school yearbook photo, which accompan which which will accompany which will accompany the poem, the Canva version of this piece, and the photos of me from the first communion, with the sad look in my eye, feeling so uncomfortable wearing the suit. Really, all that, like, the 1990s are a bit of a haze, to be honest, as most of the memories I've forgotten or repressed, but I still have some inkling as to who I was back then, and I decided to try to turn it into a poem, and it goes something like this. Who was I in the 1990s? I try to piece together a part of my life, an era that gets lost in time as I grow older. Some things I remember. The third grade spelling bee is only the starting point. I was carefree. Nothing affected me, especially when the Macarena hit. The first travels with my sister and my mother. Summer vacations spent with family in Ecuador. After a tonsillectomy and right leg surgery, I grew quieter as the decade went by, yet I was able to hear everything. Athletics were traded in for academics, gold medals for honor rolls. The first inkling of my poetic self, only my parents knew it. Every Mother's and Father's Day card. My musical self was scattershot, jock jams, Beatlemania, and the Batman and Robin soundtrack. My 90s self was unsure of his identity, living in a state of childhood obliviousness. He just wanted to exist. So yeah, as I mentioned, like, a lot of the memories from the 1990s have kind of gotten lost as the years have gone by. I don't, other than the third grade spelling bee, the first memories that I can remember from my childhood was the immediate aftermath of the New York Rangers winning the Stanley Cup in June 1994, which happened to coincide with the Knicks getting to the NBA Finals and the last time the FIFA World Cup was in North America. And even then, at 8 years old, none of what I was doing really sunk in. I was still in that stage of like, all these things are happening to me. The fact that I had the tonsillectomy, the fact that I had surgery on my right leg barely 3 months after graduating elementary school. The fact that I was in Ecuador when the '96 Summer Olympics happened, and the fact that that the photo that accompanies the candid version of the poem is my actual yearbook photo from middle school, which in and of itself caused a bit of a stir because I didn't smile for the photo, and the debate rage was a smirk or a grimace. And after that moment, that's the reason why I rarely smile for photos. The, unless unless it happens to be a moment where I'm caught off guard, or the circumstances are friendlier and less formal. I knew that I spent a lot of the decade just isolated, because if I wasn't getting bullied by my classmate, I was getting bullied by I got bullied by my classmates quite a bit, and after one can only take so much of it when you just decide to keep everyone in arm's reach, which that habit kind of stuck with me to this day. And I wasn't I was very athletic back then. Still have the bag full of medals that I've won over the in the elementary middle school years. I still have the 2 volleyball trophies that I won just before the leg surgery in September '96 changed the trajectory. Like, I was not focused on athletics as much. I was focused on trying to do better academically. And it did work for a while. Like, 6th grade, made the honor roll. 7th grade, junior arista, but I could not keep things going leaving middle school. And then, of course, at the very end of the decade, the '90s, I began high school. And the fact that Island City High School was not exactly my first choice. It was more the closest barrier-free school to where I lived, and I wasn't exactly thrilled at first by that the fact that that decision was made and I had no say in it. But I came around to that point in the end where it's like, by the time high school ended in 2003, I realized those were some of the better years of my life. And as far as musically goes, like, I thought about just doing this like the traditional post, where I would do as the everyone else with the Goo Goo Dolls Iris, which it's not a bad song by any stretch of the imagination. But knowing me, I probably would have spent so much time trying to find the right song to accompany the poem that I decided to turn it into turn this poem into a reading video instead. The 1990s, I was oblivious, living in a state of obliviousness for most of it, but I was beginning to start to realize that, yeah, I had cerebral palsy. Yeah, I had all these in and out of all these surgeries. And even this first inkling of me as a poet was starting to show through, albeit just only for my parents when it came time to write messages in their specific cards. Like, poetry was not even anywhere close to the radar back then. So the decade was just me starting to come into whatever this that's in front of you right now is trying to be. Hell, I still don't know after all these years what I like, the sense of who I am, at least not without my without without my writing to tell the stories. I am still trying to exist. The years have gone by, and it hasn't gotten easier. It's kind of a bit more. It's gotten difficult as the years have gone by, realizing that I got a late start to everything. I was a late bloomer, even then. Like, part of me wishes I had more. Like, I had more I had more photos and memories from the 90s than I do, because it feels like I was a completely different person back then, one that I don't recognize today. Well, everyone, that's it for this week's video. A programming note: April is National Poetry Writing Month, so the posts and videos are not going to be as frequent as they usually are. Given the fact that the timings of the posts will be off for the rest of it, for all of April, I will, I'll do my best to keep be on not completely completely be off camera over the next month. It's just not going to be as frequent as it usually is, but there will still be poetry, and a lot of it coming in the month ahead. April is going to be a busy month, and I hope you'll join me as NaPoWriMo begins. I hope everyone has a good weekend, and the poetry's only getting started from here. Good night, everybody.